Hi there everyone. There was a huge hotfix that came out recently. Well, a set of two hotfixes that basically changed the way all skill runes work. There's been a complete massive change to them all. So no old skill runes use the base change the base damage to elemental anymore, and they've also changed the numbers across the board. So all my videos showing the skill runes and how they all work and all that kind of stuff, they've all been altered, and some of them are invalid. As well as that, my skill runes guide, which I spent ages working on, I never finished it actually because a few months ago I thought this kind of thing was coming along, and I just thought if I put tens of hours into this only to find it's all wrong, I'm going to be so annoyed. So I stopped doing any work on it, but didn't tell anyone because I didn't want them to all kind of know this kind of thing was coming. Anyway, this video is going to talk through that a bit, as well as talk through what I'm going to be doing over the next a few weeks, I guess, because there's a lot of stuff that I want to bring out in terms of videos with the new skills and everything going on there. And so I plan to bring out a video every single day for the next few weeks. So this is the kind of running order of what I'm going to be doing. The one you're watching right now is the, well, you'll know because you would have clicked on the link, but yeah, it's the changes to the skill runes, and I'm going to be doing that for all classes in this video. Then what's going to be coming out next is previews of the advanced class skills. I've wanted to make that for a little while. I probably should have made it earlier, but yeah, there's going to be one for the wizard, one for the archer, and then one for the knight. Then I'm going to be doing some previews of the level 99 skills, showing what's changed there and stuff. It's not going to be going through every single skill, just basically the interesting ones, and talking about which ones you should be working on and that kind of stuff. I've got a guide out for that, which I'll link from those videos, saying like which ones you should be leveling and what's interesting going on there. But some of them are interesting to actually look at, as well as look at the numbers of them. So that's what I'm going to be showing in those videos. Then I'm going to be doing a night solo farming of Inner Circle. I've done one of Adamar's Sanctum already, but I want to do one of Inner Circle as well. I'm not sure whether I'm going to do that at this point or a bit later. It depends whether or not I get around to it. But yeah, in terms of an Archer solo farming, I don't think I can really do that, to be honest, because of the 360 spread shot. I'm not sure if I can actually do that. And there is a brilliant video, which I'll probably link from this night solo farming video, of one of my friends doing Inner Circle as an archer in solo, and he does it amazingly well. So I'll link that. He does miss out some things. I think I could probably get a better run out of it, but I can't pull off the 360 spread shot every single time, and it's going to take me ages to learn, so I'd rather not make that video. Then I'm going to be going through the various combos which have opened up, either with the extra skill levels, or just otherwise the combos that are there, because I want to point out what's good on each class and how archers can tank and that kind of stuff. So I'm going to be doing a video on each one of those combos, and that's going to take a fair amount of time going through those. Then I'm going to move on to the dragon showcases. By this time, I'll be have properly looked through all the dragons, and I'll be writing out the guide. And so the guide should be ready, at least all the numbers behind it that I can then start pulling out, so I know which dragons are good, which ones are bad, that kind of stuff. And so I'll be filling out about two of the dragons each, as I bring out the videos or beforehand. And yeah, it's going to be 2 dragons per video in the order of release, and because I figured 2 dragons is probably a good length, and if I try and push it to 3, then it risks going over 15 minutes, and I don't really want loads of long videos, and 1 is not enough. So anyway, that's my plan for videos, and hopefully I should be bringing out 1 per day. It's probably be a case of where I promise something and then don't manage to do it. But anyway, looking at the skill runes, yeah, this is just my skill runes guide that I spent ages working on, and all the stuff on the first page in terms of the experience requirements, the stats, percentage of the stats you gain as you level them, that kind of stuff is still valid. It's just the actual numbers and stuff that isn't anymore. For example, with Water Beam, the way it works has changed, so the numbers are nothing like this anymore. So that's the real changes there. I brought out a guide. Sorry, not a guide, a thread. I'll link this in the description as well, which this has detailed the changes sort of by skill. I'm not going to be able to go through everything in this video, so yeah, go give this a read if you're interested about the changes and you don't have time to sort of look through and work them out yourself. So yeah, I talked through each of the skills and what's kind of gone on, and as an overall thing, what they've done is they've taken they've only changed the percent damage on any skills. So if you look here at Fire Blast, this was 16,400 plus 150%. This 150. This 16,400 hasn't changed. They haven't changed any of these numbers. They've only changed the percent numbers added on by skill runes. So that's what you need to look out for. And then what they've done in general is the damage skills, they've made them all roughly in line with each other. So they've kind of made skills which should be doing more damage now do kind of more damage. Skills which shouldn't be doing too much damage have been scaled back, and they're sort of more in line with each other now. It's annoying because all the skills which were really powerful that then people loved, like volley, have now been made weaker, which is very frustrating, obviously. But from a balance perspective and a design perspective, I have to say it was necessary and good in the long run. But people hate me for saying that. Then what they've done as well is the defense skills have been generally reduced so that there's less, if you want to do damage, you've got to use the damage skills. So for example, Healing Shrine here added on 150% water, and that's been scaled back to 12%. And then also with Guardian Light, that added 60% light here, and that's been changed back to 43%. So basically the defense skills which added damage, they have had that damage reduced. So, looking through the skills, I'm going to try to power through. Basically, Fire Blast has been reduced massively. Empowered Frozen Sphere is now the standout best. Just use that instead. Fire Blast has got a bit more range, definitely useful for farming, but Empowered Frozen Sphere is the one to go for. Expel is a really interesting one. That hits twice, and the damage was increased on it. So this is actually now a really powerful skill. What else to talk about? I'm just going to pause the video a second. Okay, I've now caught up and I know what I'm talking about. So the Arcane Beam has been completely revamped. They've downgraded Water Beam. It's now less powerful, and to be honest, they made them all kind of better. So Shadow Burn and Radiant Light are the two standout ones. Radiant Light by a long shot, because not only does it increase the damage by the most percent, but it has 2 lots of that 11,000 added, and it has a little area of effect. It's actually a lot better than Water Beam. This is like the new Water Beam now, which is awesome, and it's great that the other ones are also viable. So yes, light stat on a wizard is now important. Just to say, that doesn't really change anything in PvP because it only does 2 hits in PvP rather than the 6 in PvE. So yeah, it's not really a PvP skill and won't affect anything there. Another thing is the mana bolts. These ones have generally been nerfed, apart from Deluge, which somehow got a buff. But anyway, so yeah, these have been generally nerfed a little bit, just to stop them from being such an easy one-shot, and to bring it in line with the other skills, because it stood out as kind of something which was a little bit too powerful for its cooldown and stuff. It was odd, so that's more in line now. The other ones here as well, like I said, Guardian Light's been nerfed. Fiery Aura is now definitely the standout skill rune for PvE even, and for PvP is very awesome. It actually took a buff, so yeah, that looks very nice now. And then other stuff, skill runes, Flame Breath seemed to get a buff. I'm not entirely sure about this. I need to properly test it and stuff, but that's very strong. It's always meant to be a strong skill, so maybe they just wanted to make it properly strong again. So anyway, Flame Breath is definitely a good one. And also, as a general thing, skill runes which don't take the base damage, like Flame Breath, that removes the base damage. It says the base damage here, but actually on the rune it doesn't. And when you use it, you see it's only fire. Those ones haven't changed to include the base damage. It's the same with Sparkling Gift as well, that just does the base damage. So yeah, that's it on the wizard. Let's just quickly look at the archer ones now. So the main thing about archers is they took a big hit to volley. Every version of volley really. Well, the 2 ones which stood out were Empowered Rapid Fire and Water Volley. They've both been reduced from 150% down to 89 and 100%. So that's a huge reduction of the damage there, and ultimately I think it brings them more in line with the other skills and stuff. They're still powerful, they're just, you can't get such an easy one-shot in PvP, and yes, so that's those there. Otherwise, generally, they've been reduced or not really changed much. Empowered Shadow Arrow, for some reason, stands out by a long shot. It's like 20% more damage than the others. So yeah, that's quite interesting now. And then Stone Arrow took a nerf. Well, Empowered Shattering Shot took a buff. So they're closer to each other now. I can't remember. I think Empowered Shattering Shot does do an air effect with its hit, because originally the original Shattering Shot, and also this when it was first released, only changed it to a single target, which was horrible. And I think they changed it later. I complained to them, and I was like, look, this is ridiculous. You don't want a single target attack like this. So I think they made it hit an air effect, but it still says in the description to an enemy. But anyway, so yes, that's actually might be quite a decent water skill there. Not really much else changed of note, other than Empowered Blasting Shot took a nerf. This, people complained it wasn't much of a damage dealer anyway, because of the low proc rate. Sorry, but yeah, the fire, it was reduced slightly. I don't think this will really decrease their damage output by much, but yeah, it's just a bit of a nerf to that. And then Mark of Ignition did not take a nerf, so that's still awesome. And Scorching Arrows, this took a nerf, which people got annoyed about. The 21% you see there was 40%. However, actually, the vast majority of the damage is from that 15,000 fire. That hits 3 times, it's 45,000, and then on each chance of each time that hits, it's got a 20% chance of doing the 40% damage, which, when you run through the numbers, it's actually only been nerfed by like about 10% of the damage or something like that. It's not a huge nerf, and to be honest, this is such a powerful skill, and it's still very powerful. It still stacks more than 3 times, whereas the other skill runes like Thor's Arrow and stuff, that has a stack limit of 3. So yeah, Scorching Arrow stands out by a long shot as the best skill rune for that. And then the ones on here are quite interesting. I'll go into Stone Bear in a different video, in the combos video and stuff, because that's very cool now. But yeah, they buffed the damage on a Divine Companion massively, so now it actually adds something, which is quite cool. And like I said, I'll go into those later. The damage on the Ballista ones, you've got a fair amount of damage added on with each one. They're all quite good, except for Bomb Turret, which I showed in a video just recently, and how it doesn't deal any base damage. So it's absolutely pathetic, and it still doesn't deal any base damage. So yeah, the main thing about Ballista is from levels 10 to 99, it quadruples in damage to 1200%, which is amazing. But then if you use Bomb Turret, it's terrible. And yeah, so Ballista 10 out of 99 is good, but nothing that special. What really makes it good is leveling up to a higher level. And yeah, the fact that doesn't go along with it means that just generally has no use other than for farming. So that's the Archer scorings. Let's have a look at the Knight ones. The Knight ones took an all-round buff. Just generally, they increased the damage output on almost all the skill runes for these sort of skills along here. The ones which are really worthy of note are the main ones. They increased the percentage here on both of these. It was like about 150% or something, and then now it's 260, 250. And if you look at Flowing Blades, that is actually awesome because it's got those 2 hits. It's actually adding loads of water damage to it. And then you've got like Thunderblade and these old ones which have kind of been revamped. Shadowblade was always quite bad, and now it's actually really good, which is cool. Wild Swing as well has got a huge buff. That only added like 80% nature, and now it's 157, which because it does 2 hits is amazing. So that's great. Then you've got also the Whirl skill runes. These took a huge buff. If we're looking at, yes, these two are the 2 ones showing there, the most interesting ones. So they added about 28%, I think, or something like that. And now they're 72 and 80, which beforehand it was more about the static damage here. But yeah, so the static damage is the same, but now the percent damage is actually the most important thing. So yeah, those add a load of damage on, which is very nice. Water Protection and Inquisitor took a nerf on the damage front, but the healing actually took a slight... Oh no, it didn't take a buff. But anyway, the healing on this one is the main focus of it, and the healing is still good. So that is pretty much everything what I wanted to say. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I will hope you enjoy the videos to come. Thanks very much for watching.